How do you feel?
Fine.
Fine? You know what F.I.N.E stands for, don't you?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Freaked out.
Insecure.
Neurotic.
And emotional.
Good.
All right.
Where am I? Oh, there I am. Oh, yay.
It turns out it's just 90 minutes of grunting, all Tim Allen style. Welcome back to Grumblecast.
Mike Seibert Radio. We're about to start the show. We talk about stuff and things. Lots of guests, in-depth interviewing. Mike Seibert Radio. It's nobody's favorite show. Movies, comics, video games, and TV. And we also can guarantee that it's not gonna be that funny. But that's okay because the show is free. So crank the volume into your headphones. The podcast at last is starting. It's time for Mike Seibert Radio.
Welcome back to Mike Seibert Radio. I am your host, and this is the last show of the year. So hope everyone has had a happy festive holiday season, and everybody has a happy new year. I don't
pull.
exactly. I don't know about anybody else, but I can't think of a year that I am more looking forward to getting in the rear view mirror than 2025. There's peaks and valleys, there's highs and lows, but I think if we're grading on a curve and we're talking about batting average, yeah, I think I'm kind of through with 2025 and hoping optimistically for a better 2026. But
yeah, I'd like 2026 to be at least an 800. 2025 has been at least a 450.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. Says the guy wearing the Boston Red Sox hat.
Damn straight.
So joining me for this offbeat episode, where it's kind of existential dreadcast, but it's kind of like existential dreadcast in reverse. We'll try to explain that a little bit, but like this is a concept that I think me and Mike have been kicking around over Messenger for at least a year, possibly longer.
Ever since my existential dreadcast episode, actually, whenever that was, I think that was 2 years ago.
That's probably 2 years ago now.
Yeah.
So this is, I would like to say, long gestating, long in the hopper, and long cooking, but I don't know if that's specifically true because I think just last night I'm like, wait, what are we doing again? I kind of spaced out.
Yeah, because earlier this year I said, hey, here's this image, and I showed you the image, and I said it's essentially a flip of the coin of existential dread, where it's like people will ask you a question and I'll let you do the asking, and we'll go through the whole bit.
Yeah.
We'll do the bit in a minute, folks, but people will ask you a certain question and you give an answer, but really that answer has levels upon it's basically an onion answer, because you can peel away so many levels and so many layers of it, because it's not just one definitive I'm blank answer.
Right, exactly. And the theme of this evening's conversation is, are you fine? and what that actually means when people ask it and what you respond with. So joining me for this this weirdly deeply philosophical discussion to close out your ear. I'd like to close out my ear sometimes. My gosh, we've barely even started, and
are you okay, Mike? Come on, man. How long you been doing this?
Too long, Fred. Joining me again for this existential journey is the one and only the proprietor of the Geekcast Radio Network. It is TFG1 Mike.
one of them. Steve Megatron is the other. He's the one that runs the website and all that stuff. So got to give all the credit in the world to Steve Megatron, because without him, the website doesn't exist. I'm just over here being an audio monkey.
I love it. So to start off with, I'll just tee you right the hell up, Mike. How are you?
I'm fine.
Exactly. So this conversation started as I just said, I'm winding up to wind down, but Mike and I had a lengthy conversation just about, kind of how we're feeling about life. And I think it was, if F.I.N.E is a spectrum that was kind of like medium negative, I would say, we talked a lot about a lot of heavy stuff, and got a lot of stuff out there. And as a side tangent, it's fascinating to me, the positive response to some of these Existential Dreadcast episodes, because I've always thought that podcasting is a companion medium. It's like you're hanging out with the host. You're kind of like the extra member of the show, that kind of thing. Because you might be out on your walk and or driving or commuting or whatever, or just sitting at your computer. And you find yourself either yelling at them or cheering them on or whatever, but you let podcasts into your life. Those voices, those people, those personalities, you form a connection with. I think the word that they coined this year was parasocial, if I remember correctly.
I guess, I don't know.
Yeah, it was news to me. I was chatting with some of my friends, and they were talking about like parasocial relationships. I'm like, does that involve jumping out of a plane? You got like, it's like you're gonna socialize doing like parachute jumping or something like that. But my point being is like that I also feel like when we do shows like this, we are saying things that either folks are thinking themselves or notions that resonate with folks. And that's what I like out a lot of my podcasts that I listen to and engage with. I'm there for personalities. I'm there for honesty and sincerity and authenticity and all of that other stuff. So I guess that's a long way of saying that, like, yeah, when I put out these episodes, sometimes I shouldn't be as surprised by the positive response, because we're just kind of saying what a lot of folks are thinking.
Well, yeah, and the thing is that you want to be honest with the audience about who you are and what you do, and sometimes if there's things that you need to talk about and like I said, this is an idea that I have had. It's a ass backwards idea of kind of reviewing the Italian Job, but not really. No, seriously, because again, that's where the whole "How are you, Charlie? I'm fine. You know what F.I.N.E stands for? Freaked out, insecure, neurotic, and emotional." That's where the whole thing kind of came from. And then a couple of years ago, this image came into my life. "How are you? Fine." I don't know where I found this from. And in this image, I'll go through this once we get into it deeper. It has its thing that it's written here. But the thing of it is, sometimes we need to do episodes like this to get stuff off our chest or whatever else. I mean, it's not like we can always talk about all-spark legislation.
Right. And certainly not number legislation.
Yeah,
I know a guy who really hates that.
Yeah, you leave that crap on in the Nemesis on the ocean floor somewhere.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Number legislation.
Yeah, man. But that is interesting, because I remember, and now things are kind of starting to crystallize and knock loose now that we've talked, because originally we were going to do a review of the Italian Job.
Italian Job, and we still are. It's taking time.
Yeah.
To get it to figure out and whatever.
Well, and I think we missed an anniversary also.
Yeah.
We
Again, it was that's why
Yeah.
it's 2 years in the making, is because 2023 was the 20th anniversary of the 2003 version of the Italian Job,
Right.
with Mark Wahlberg and Charlize Theron and Donald Sutherland. And Donald is no longer with us. He passed away a couple of years ago, I think. And that's where this all kind of came from. And then I remembered I had this sign, and like I've already said, that's whatever. I'm in the middle of editing something that isn't out yet, but Steve Megatron and I were like, oh yeah, we meant to do that movie for whatever anniversary it was, but we didn't get to do it for the anniversary. And I said, yeah, we'll still do it. Just because just because we missed the anniversary doesn't mean we're not going to cover the stupid movie or not.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I always like trying to catch anniversaries sometimes, just because it just makes it feel a little more special to me.
Mm-hmm.
But it is what it is.
Well, as a turn of phrase that that's really resonated with me over the last 18 months, sometimes fate makes its own programming.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we haven't done the movie yet. We will at some point. But this notion, I mean, I guess I do all of this setup because I feel like the more that Mike, you and I have been talking, we really just kind of wanted to talk about the notion of what F.I.N.E. means and what it means to us. It's like, and we wanted to talk about the movie too, but like, I think
down the line.
Yeah. Like I had made a joke at some point. I'm like, this is almost like a show by itself. We could just carve this out. So now we've just done that. We've just done the carve out.
Yeah, exactly. And again, that's kind of half the point, is like, you take one joke out, like, say what you will about the man. I don't care. I still love, the apple bit from Cosby.
Sure.
Take a bite. Crunch. Oh, okay. Next thing you know, God says, okay, everybody out of the pool. Get out, everybody out. Like, that's just funny shit. Yeah, the man's a monster, but that's still a funny comedy bit. I don't know, dude. Whatever. It is what it is. But the point is, you find something in something, like the freaked out, insecure, neurotic, emotional. You find a joke in a movie or in a TV show or in a whatever, and it means something to you. And then you find something else on top of that, like I have with this, with this image, and it's like, oh, I know we're gonna do the movie eventually, which is fine, pun intended. But we can also like you just said, carve this one section out and be like, oh, this could be a thing all on its own, and that's where we are, like you said. So. All right. The image of how are you? I'm fine. It's been a while since it's been a while since I've actually looked at this. So when I looked at it, how it is spelled it is obviously F.I.N.E, but it's read left to right, bottom left to bottom right. So
okay.
The F is how it's made up. It's made up of confused, betrayed, useless, broken. Okay, that F has got a lot going on.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can almost do an entire show.
We're not doing individual letters. I'm just saying that F has a lot going on.
Yeah.
The I is never good enough. The N is fragile, anxious. I'm falling apart. You don't notice it. And then the E, let me zoom over here and look at the E here. The E is pathetic, annoying, rejected, lonely, defeated. I have felt every single one of those emotions in the last 45 years of my life. I will be 46 in February. Now, the thing with me is when I started kindergarten in 1985 or 86. I think it was 85 because I was in first grade in 86. Because of this, and I don't know if you're putting video out on the whatever, it's fine, doesn't matter.
Mhm.
But I'm showing him, folks, my cerebral palsy arm on my right side. I was born with cerebral palsy. I was born with brain damage. I do not have a corpus callosum. For those that don't know, the corpus callosum is the thing in the back of your brain that is supposed to grow, that is supposed to turn your brain into the two hemispheres. So you have a left hemisphere and a right hemisphere. Basically, you have two of the Great Lakes. You have Huron and Superior. You have Erie and whatever. I basically have Lake Michigan in my head because I don't have a corpus callosum that splits the hemispheres. I have basically have the Atlantic Ocean in my head.
You have a single brain. You're single brained.
Yeah. Unfortunately, my brain never got married. Oh boy. So the point is that I was born with brain damage. And part of that is with the cerebral palsy, the physical side on my right side, that's all that people saw. So as you know, going back to the 80s, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, those were my elementary school years. Throughout all of those years, I got made fun of because of the cerebral palsy. That basically desensitized me to the world because it's like, holy crap, what the hell? You know, like we didn't have the internet back then, kids. We couldn't just run home and jump on the computer and vent our whatever. We had to run home and cry to mom or cry to dad or cry to whoever kind of thing. And it's like, what the hell? Why did this happen? Yada, yada, yada. So the whole thing about how are you fine, where it's like pathetic, annoying, rejected, lonely, defeated, the E portion of that. And then the, you know, like that it's just hit different a lot over the years kind of thing. And it's like, but do I show it half the time? No. It's not because that I was, you know, like there is some, you know, you see it in a lot of TV shows and stuff where it's like some characters are taught to or told to hide their emotion. It's not because of that. It's because why am I going to burden other people with the shit that I'm going through?
Yeah.
Like perfect example. If we were doing a completely different end of the year show, like if you had said to me, "Hey Mike, let's come on and do our top," yeah, exactly. Yeah. Mr. Dancing Seibert over there.
There it is.
Yeah, there it is. Look, I'm a pointer. There it is. If we were gonna do top 10 G1 episodes or top 10 animated episodes or whatever, and if the other part of why 2025 has sucked so much for me is not only do I have the cerebral palsy on my left arm, I've had to have surgery on my right arm. I have had to have surgery on my left arm this year. So the only arm I can use in life is now giving me trouble to the point of half the time I can't do stuff anymore. But usually I will take Batman's advice. What did Batman tell Terry McGinnis in Return of the Joker when he was fighting the Joker? Bruce Wayne, Batman, voice of Kevin Conroy. I will never forget this as long as I live, and we don't have to forget it because we can always watch it. Joker's tough, boss. You got any suggestion? He's tough, but he's vain. He likes to talk. Block it out and power on through. That line where Kevin Conroy as Batman or as Old Man Bruce says, block it out and power on through. I have used that for the last 25 years. That film is 25 years old this year. I have used block it out and power on through whenever I need to get stuff done. So if you had said to me, and like I said, if this was a completely different episode, hey, let's come on and do some fun stuff and have some fun and do our top 10, whatever, I'd be like, oh, okay, even though my arm hurts or my back hurts or my nose is running off my face, I'll be like, okay, this is for Mike. Mike wants me to come on his show. I'll blow my nose halfway to Timbuk 3 and be fine and whatever. Look, see, fine. Freaked out, insecure, neurotic, and emotional. It's a thing, you know. And I'll come on and I'll do the camera bit and I'll do whatever. And here we go, you know, be show ready. As soon as the camera goes off, though, it's like, okay, I got the paper towels here. Let's blow the nose again.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, it all falls apart.
Yeah, exactly. And that's okay. But again, that's what the podcast, I've been doing this for 17 years, Mike. Over 4,000 episodes on geekcastradio.com. And I don't say that as a promotion. I just say that as a fact.
Right.
Like 17 years. And it's like, I've never, and I will never fake it to the audience.
Right.
Never. Why the fuck would I? Like, that's so stupid. Like, I'm not putting on, like, if Steve and I can't record something, like if I've got something going on or if he's got something going on, we don't record. And if someone says, hey, what happened to the latest episode of insert whatever show it is here? Oh, we'll be back next time, or we'll be back next week. We had this run in, or we had that run in, or whatever, or, you know, that's just what it is. You know, life happens. Life comes before content. Life comes before podcasting. You know, it is what was that?
Oh, I was just agreeing with you. I just said absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like, but yeah, so. But yeah, back go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say it's interesting about doing shows. Like I don't know if you've had this same experience, but like I have a very difficult time shaking myself out of a funk when I'm by myself. Like if I just need to like crank out something solo, it is sometimes harder. Like I remember I went through all kinds of issues like during COVID and you know, even after that, like, yeah, it's like, do I even want to do this anymore? That kind of thing. Yeah. But when I'm in a group, whether it's like, you know, one or more persons, like there are times where to the keen ear, you could hear me being bitchy or like, you know, I'm like in a mood or something like that. And it kind of manifests it in just like, you know, some like passive aggressive behavior or comments or whatever. But once the light goes on, you know, figuratively or literally, it's just like, exactly. But for me, it also represents an escape. Yep. Like, you know, as much as folks consume content, and I consume content the same way, you know, I'm looking to, you know, have my mind somewhere else. Likewise, making content and talking to my friends and all that, yep. that's as much of an escape as engaging with the stuff. Yeah. So for me, you know, I said earlier, like F.I.N.E is a spectrum, but also F.I.N.E is an expression of what you're saying, like, you know, you just tune it out and power through. Yeah. And it's just like, yeah, I'm fine. All right. Yeah, cool. Let's go. You know, that kind of thing. And then, you know, you get your feet under you and you get going and you end up having a great time with your friends casting pods. Yep. And absolutely. And then you go back to the world after the lights go off, like you said, you know, that's when you realize that you've been sitting funny the whole time and like your leg and back hurts and you got to blow your nose and all that other stuff. And And you got to drink a lot of water and usually go to the bathroom. It's like, it's so funny because like there are times I've gone home after doing like a late night podcast session. I'll go home and sleep it off, and like, I'll have like this massive crick in my neck, that kind of thing. Or like if I'm, doing like a really long live stream or something like that, I'll just, I'm just drained, like, because there is something to like the performance of it.
Yeah, but see, you're built a little differently because you're the psycho that'll go 3.5, 4 hours. Like,
It's true.
I stopped doing that like 3 years ago.
Smart.
I can't, like, I can do up to about 2.5. After 2.5, I gotta tap out. We don't really, unless it's something super special, we don't really do 2 hour plus anymore.
Yeah, which is smart. That's making good choices means making smart choices occasionally as well. But yeah, it's like, but there's been any number of times where it'll be like, hey, you're good to do a show today. Yeah, I'm fine. It's and I've mentioned this in therapy where I've I have, so like, my therapist will ask me, well, how you doing today? And I'll say fine. And like, it was either like, first, second, maybe third session. I'm like, I explained it. I was like, no, like fine is a spectrum. Like, usually it's kind of like right down the middle, but it also just kind of shifts
way,
depending upon what the mood is.
Yeah.
I've also kind of compared it to here in the state of Washington, or actually in King County where I live. There's on the outside of restaurants, there's like the health board, kind of like it has like the Mr. Yuck type of faces. It's like, this restaurant is rated as excellent or good or fair or poor or whatever. Yeah, exactly. And it's like a spectrum from like a smiley face to a yucky face. And I've used that to kind of describe my mood as well. I thought that there was one that said fine, but I was confusing it with fair. I'm just like, oh yeah, this one's fine. But it's the lightest of greens right before you get to gray.
Yeah.
But you don't.
Nobody wants a. You need to find somewhere in the middle there.
Yep, exactly. And and middle isn't specifically bad. For a lot of folks, middle kind of represents regularity.
Yeah, like there's the expression of, oh, I'm on the balance beam, or I'm on the fence, or I'm on this, or I'm on that, or I don't know where I'm going, or I don't know which direction I'm going, kind of thing. And I don't think in this specific case of F.I.N.E, you have to be going in one direction or the other, because we all can't be happy all the time. We all can't be angry or depressed all the time either. So being in the middle ground of I exist, I am, let's just say, generally happy. Like, I'm happy with where I am right now. It's nice and warm. I'm not out in the cold and the snow and the whatever here in Indiana, because it was flurrying earlier. I don't know what it's doing now. Oh, my phone just told me. That's what I love about technology right now. Well, it says cloudy on the weather app, but when I did, so you're not going to be able to see this, but
right.
on my phone, when I click it and it opens up, the weather, whatever the weather is, it'll shine this yellow thing to tell me the sun's out. It'll raindrops and to tell me that it's raining. For snow, it'll show the giant white flakes on the at a glance screen. It just showed me white flakes on the at a glance screen. I'm like, oh, great, more snow. Look, I get it, folks. I decided to live in Indiana. I understand that. I'm not complaining about it. I'm just stating facts about the weather here. But again, it's one of those things where, okay, the weather is, like going back to the thing of I'm happy at this moment where I am sitting in this chair talking to one of the coolest podcasters I know. I said one of, not the coolest, but one of,
Sure. Thank you. Thank
you
you.
know.
Appreciate that. It's good
Uh,
company to be in. I appreciate that much.
absolutely, absolutely. So generally I'm okay. This year has been rough because, like I said before, I've had I had to have ulnar nerve and carpal tunnel surgery done on my left arm. So I had to have ulnar nerve transposition surgery where they moved my ulnar nerve around, and I had to have carpal tunnel done on my hand, which is not something I expected to have done because my ring finger and my pinky finger earlier this year decided to just go to sleep and stay asleep.
Oh, geez.
So people, I don't think you're publishing the video, but I'll try to explain this the best I can on the audio. So if you go to sleep and you put your hand under your neck, folks, and you have your face and whatever under that, and you leave it in you leave it in that position for a long time, and your hand falls asleep, and your hand's asleep, and you wake up, your hand's numb, you basically just shake it out.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Phrasing.
Pump it out. That's right.
Amazing.
You basically just shake it out and it goes back to normal. I tried doing that and nope. Come to find out, what had happened was the day later that day, that had happened, and then later that day I went to go into my bedroom and I had lost because of cerebral palsy, I have bad balance sometimes. I had almost lost my footing. I wasn't going to fall, but I knew it was in that position of, oh crap, what if this? So I reached out and tried to grab the door jamb with my hand. Well, my hand wasn't the thing that grabbed the door jamb. My elbow was. So as soon as I hit my elbow, did something to the funny bone, did something to that ulnar nerve. And usually when you hit your elbow against anything, it's usually an hour and a half of, holy, what the mother, oh my God, this is the worst pain in the world kind of stuff. Usually that's about, let's say, 20 minutes to an hour of pain. Well, yeah, that happened for the elbow. But then all of a sudden, my hand was like, hey, we're still asleep. And that went on for like 3 days. And I'm like, okay, there's something wrong here. So I called the doctor and they're like, yeah, you need to have ulnar nerve surgery because that's not fixing anything unless you're. So yeah, so had to have that done. Like I also mentioned earlier, it's been 10 years since my mom passed. So I'm having all kinds of emotions about that. Like normally when her anniversary comes up, the anniversary of her death is May 18th. I'd kind of gotten to the point where I was okay with it. I wasn't as emotional with it. I wasn't really counting because by the time, let's see, 20, about 2 or 3 years. Yeah. Because she died in 2015. I met Karen in 2017. Karen and I did the whole whirlwind romance thing for the 4.5 years we had up until Karen passed in 2021. But during that whole time, it's like, oh yeah, May 18th, the anniversary of mom's passing. It was emotional, but it wasn't like, oh my God, it's the worst thing. I'm exaggerating here, folks, when I say this. I want people to understand that, yes, I miss my mom. Yes, I've missed my mom every year. I'm just trying to convey that it wasn't as bad as it was when it first happened. Like a lot of other stuff happened between 2017 and 2021 when Karen passed. So then that was a whole other emotional roller coaster kind of thing. But now where it's like I'm so separated from 2021 to now, and now I'm just realizing, oh it's been 10 years since my mom passed. It's like, well, there's all that emotion, which would probably fall into let's see, where is that going to fall into? I would see. I always have this thing about defining alone and
Sure.
lonely. So in the thing here, it does say on the E, it says pathetic, annoying, rejected, lonely, and defeated. So it does list lonely, and I
Mm-hmm.
have felt loneliness, but being alone and loneliness are two different things in my mind, because I can sit here alone singularly and edit a 4-hour podcast
Mm-hmm.
by cutting out 2 hours of psychobabble that isn't needed in that podcast. Um, but it's like, the point is, to me, alone and loneliness are two different things, where I see me being alone is a singular thing in a singular place where there's no one else here but me,
Mm-hmm.
versus the being lonely or loneliness is, oh God, I have no one here. I have no one I can reach out to. I have no one I can talk, which for me is not true. I have plenty of people I can reach out to if I need to reach out to them, that kind of thing. But there are some people out there that maybe listen to the sound of our voices that may feel this way, that may feel
Mm-hmm.
that they don't have somebody to reach out to and things like that. And so, yeah, that's how I quantify that with the whole F.I.N.E thing.
Yeah, well, and I'll kind of add to that also, because I completely agree with you that, like, alone does not equal lonely. Lonely
Yeah.
does not equal alone. Like there's they're not mutually beneficial things. Like, you can be with somebody and, like, literally, like, present with them and still kind of feel lonely. Like,
Yeah.
I think loneliness is a component of feeling isolated, of feeling like nobody understands me, that kind of stuff. And so, like, the stuff in the N is really what kind of like clicks with me. Fragile, anxious, I'm falling apart and you don't even notice it.
Yeah.
That's fucking loneliness.
Yeah.
That's the notion of not being seen.
Yep.
And it's kind of interesting because, like, with us, like, creating content, it's there is a component of, like, notice me, look at me, that kind of thing. And it is deflating and defeating in a way, to kind of go back to one of our letters as well, when we're not being seen, when we're not being recognized, where we're being rejected. And I think, again, I warned you, or you warned me also, that there's going to be a lot of taffy to tug on with this stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because, like, because I'm staring at the graphic here, and it's going to be, it's the thumbnail for the episode. So just look at your phone and see what we're talking about here. But the pathetic, annoying, rejected, lonely, defeated aspect of the E is almost like a cause and effect type of thing. It's like, oh, because I'm pathetic and annoying, therefore I am being rejected, lonely, and defeated.
Yeah.
Which is
that's
shockingly deep. I don't know if that was specifically the intent.
And again, I don't know who made this image. I don't know where I got this image from. I have no clue. I just know that I found this image sometime between 2019 and 2021.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had it ever since. And I don't look at it very often. I'm like, oh, right, Mike and I were supposed to do that podcast. And now I can say, oh, right, Mike and I did that podcast.
Yeah. Well, and even to the point when I asked you over Messenger, it's like, oh yeah, remind me, what in hell are we doing again? and like, so you went back to the image and you're like, oh, there's words in there. and then like, revisiting the words, it just like blasts the whole thing open, because it's like, holy crap, this is straight up what we're talking about here.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
exactly.
it's nuts because like yeah, in a way, like kind of continuing with my weird accidental cause and effect theme, go all the way to the beginning with the F in F.I.N.E,
Yeah.
confused, betrayed, which leads to useless and broken.
Yeah.
You can interpret that however you like, but yeah, it's like, I'm man, I really would like to
I would
get a
love
handle on who put this up, because like,
Yeah.
confused and betrayed are often kind of complementary things.
Yep.
Usually with a component of betrayal is confusion.
Yeah, absolutely.
And confusion is an aspect of betrayal. I just said that. I was thinking it the opposite way, but yeah, I mean, broken and useless also, like, there's a lot of deep resonant themes of insecurity and self-esteem in here also, which again, as content creators, that's something we struggle with constantly. That's where a lot of this kind of hit me, is because, I come across as, confident and articulate and certainly not concise. Brevity, certainly not my first best strength. But like, there's a lot of things in like, like just the sound of my voice, or like, some of my vocal tics, the fact that I say after every other word. Like there
Now, see, folks, if he would let me edit this episode, you would not hear a single out of Mike Seibert, because I would cut every single one of them.
Well, and it's funny too, because like with when I edit Two Mikes Too Furious, I kind of take like an every other one type of thing. I cut out a lot of them, but I don't cut out all of them.
Yeah.
No, but I'm saying that that's kind of part of my process, because it is a aspect of how I naturally speak.
Yeah,
and
because how you and I do the stuff, so you'll know when we, like, for me, the biggest thing, if I am sitting here telling you why animated Rodimus is so much better than animated Optimus, and I am doing a full-on sentence, and I am continually talking, and I am not saying any of those interjectory things, any of those broken syllable words, and I am having full-on sentences, and I am not breathing, and I am, because please, people, don't breathe on my podcasts. Don't breathe. Like, don't fucking breathe on my podcast whatsoever, because that's more work for me. But now I have to breathe because I've talked so much. So but so here's the thing. When I do an or an or a or a whatever, where my ear as a listener will get annoyed at the ums and the ahs, is if it's too far in between sentences. So if I have a full sentence of, the Mike Seibert radio program is the best radio program in the radio industry in the world, blah 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 blah, and Two Mikes Too Furious is so awesome, everyone should be listening to it, and yada 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 sentence, that that's between the two sentences, with whatever dead space that's also in there, I would cut that.
Sure.
See what I'm
right.
saying? So
yeah,
those
totally.
are the spatial the ums that exist in between someone talking. It's not so much the ums of where you can't figure out what you're trying to say, unless you're going to say every other and then I'm going to kill you
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I have a very similar approach. Like, if I'm looking at the waveform, and if it's on an island by itself, unconnected, yeah, that one goes.
Yeah, that one goes.
But if it's like you were saying, if it's like yeah, or like, if you're looking at the waveform, there it would be a hard break to edit it. I generally end up leaving those. This has been a clinic on podcast editing.
Well, the funny thing about it is, with when I am fine with a final edit of a podcast, is is when I know I have cut enough to where, like, I look at audio editing as my English teachers used to look at all my English papers. This is the weirdest, it's the weirdest thing in the world. I'm probably the only one in audio editing that does this. But if, and this is even for myself, if I am sitting here saying a sentence and then that sentence stops and my brain goes into, oh my God, I forgot what the fuck I was going to say. And, then blah, 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 and we have all these interjectories, ahs, whatevers. And then I finally figure out what the hell I was going to say. And it sounds good enough. So if I end on a sentence like, Transformers Armada, who the hell would watch that bullshit? And then trail off to nothingness. Transformers Energon, at least Armada was good. Who the hell would watch Energon? Oh my God. I would take the bullshit that's in the middle of that, cut it out, and then splice the two things together so they sound like it's two fully formed sentence ideas. So you don't hear that. I don't know. Sometimes I'm just not fine with how I talk on my own podcasts.
I totally understand that. I totally feel that. Because, like, you know, the thing that I've run into in recent years with kind of my manner of speaking is that there's times where I'll just like cut out entire sentences because it's just like, you know, too much setup. Like I feel the compulsion to say that to my guest sitting across from me or on a panel or whatever. But like usually I could get away with cheating. I've always said, I will always cut me. Like I'll cut me first before I cut anybody else. So if somebody else makes a similar point than I do, I'm going to cut me because there's enough of me to go around. And but there is something to be said for cutting for clarity and dare I say brevity. But I was going to say I kind of dropped the thread there. You know, I kind of try to have it both ways, like in terms of like being confident and, being okay with the way that I talk. Yeah. Like I got into, it was weird. There was this other podcaster that I found myself in this strange multi-year feud where like this dude would like pop up every now and again and he would always make comments about my voice. And it's just such a weird thing because I mean I don't think I have like a traditional deep radio Edward R. Murrow type of delivery, but I also don't think it's irritating to listen to. but that one kind of weirdly got under my skin a little bit because it was new. I'm like, well, I don't know. I've been casting these pods for a long time and nobody said that before. Well, that's weird. Is that because like, everybody just likes me and they want to be nice to me? But like it was a strange one for me.
Yeah. So it's funny, years and years and years ago, and it doesn't matter now because he'll make fun of me and throw me under the bus for it now, and it's fine, we're friends, whatever. But my buddy Ryan, when I first heard him, he popped up and he was on TF back in the day with Jesse and Spada and all that and whatever. And Ryan the Uneven Flow comes on there and he's from Canada, which is fine, but I'm saying that for context. But his voice to me at the time back in 2008, 2009, when I was listening, sounded like the Charlie Brown adult voice.
Oh no.
That was to me. That was to my ear.
Yeah.
And I wrote in and I said, who's the Charlie Brown adult that you guys added or whatever. So it's the same. Like, look, I know my voice is not everybody's cup of tea. So, it's just the way that people are gonna, hey, look, at least you got the fan interaction. I barely get any. I mean, we get
Yeah.
fan interaction, but we don't get a lot of fan interaction.
Mhm.
So, you know, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you on that one.
Well, I think a lot of it
Just a
comes down
personal
to
preference, I
yeah,
guess.
it's personal preference. It's all subjective. And like for example, if you have like two competing radio shows, like they're on at the same time and they do like similar content, and sometimes it just kind of comes down to what some people like the sound of one guy's voice, some people like the sound of the other guy's voice. And that could be frustrating when you're trying to figure out how to be competitive and, you know, get one over on you. And it's like, well, you're basically the same guy. Some people just like his voice better than yours. And there isn't anything you can do with that. So the best thing you could do is just be your authentic self, and the people that like you will stick with you, and the people that like the other guy will stick with the other guy. And there really isn't anything you could do about it sometimes. And that just kind of happens that way. Now, granted, it's a very different thing in podcasting, because I mentioned this feud with this this podcaster who recently decided to stop podcasting. And I'm like, all right, cool, good riddance, whatever. We all pod fade for different reasons, but like the thing that I always had trouble with this person was, in fact, this was the beginning of our multi-year feud, is the notion of competition in the podcasting space. I look at an entire spectrum of podcasts as just more pie. You know, it's like we're not competing. Like, I'm not going to say don't listen to TFG1 Mike shows, listen to my shows instead, because podcasting is an on-demand medium, listen to both.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure, maybe listen to my show first.
Yeah,
or what?
that's fine.
But even it's truly, staying on theme there. It's fine. But yeah, and I don't know, the on-demand space just kind of like changes the landscape, and even like you don't have to listen to it today. Like,
that's the coolest thing about podcasting, is that podcasting is so on demand. It does not matter when you listen to it. I still have podcasts in my Spotify Your Episodes list from 2021 that I haven't listened to, that I've been meaning to listen to for almost four or 5 years now. And just single episodes from shows that I listen to. Have I listened to other episodes from that show since then? Yeah. I just haven't gone back to the other ones. And as far as the competition in podcast space, fuck competition, man. Like, we're all here to say what we want to say when we want to say it. Now, I will say that out of respect to certain podcasters and stuff in the early days, I would not release an episode until theirs had been out for a certain amount of time, kind of thing, as a respect thing. But, at this point in time in 2025, almost 2026, whatever, at this point, it's like, whatever, like, I'll put mine out, you put yours out. Like, it doesn't really matter. You have your audience, I have my audience. If they cross-pollinate, great. And it's not like I do. And that's the other thing, specifically to you and I promote your shows. Like, I have I have ads for both Two Mikes, Too Furious and the lovely Mike Seibert radio show, which I don't know, this lobby over here, man, I don't know. You got to get some new decorations. Yikes.
Yeah.
But seriously, like, it's like that there should not be any competition. Like, there's no prize. It's a no prize thing. It's okay for me, even though I use it as I look at it as a quote unquote job, because it's the only job I can really do, kind of thing. Even though I basically eat, sleep, whatever podcasting, and sometimes I end up falling asleep editing. That's never good. Talk about having to go back and redo your homework.
Yeah, no kidding. It's like, where'd I leave off at?
Oh no, trust me. It's like, how many times did I scroll the mouse? Oh wait, nope, go back, undo that edit, undo that. Nope, don't cut that there. Don't make that cut there. No, don't cut that off. Oh my God, what did you do to his voice? He sounds like Scrappy Doo now. Oh my God, no. But yeah, it's the point is generally it's a hobbyist thing, and there's no like. I know there are a lot of people out there in the larger part of the podcast space that have turned it into quote unquote big business.
Sure.
We aren't them. We've never been them. We never will be them. We are the indie podcasters. Between you, me, Steve Megatron, and everybody else that we know, we've all always been indie podcasters. We always will be indie podcasters. Thank God nobody's aspiring to be Joe fucking Rogan.
Yeah.
Whatever. Not to say anything. Whatever. It is what it is, and that's whatever. It is whatever it is. But like, I don't do this. I never got into it to be famous.
Mm-hmm.
I never got like. There's an episode of. Have you ever seen Johnny Test?
I've heard of it, but I've never watched it.
Okay, so you should watch this episode. There's an episode. You can probably find a clip of it on YouTube. You don't have to watch the whole episode. But actually, it's funny. It ties back to Transformers because Cheetor, Ian James Corlett, is the voice of Johnny's dad in that show. Yeah. But there's an episode where they all want to get on SnoobTube because they had the whole thing of, because back in the day, 20 years ago, oh, I'm going to be a YouTube star. I'm going to go on YouTube with my 30-second video and I'm going to be famous and blah, blah, blah. So they did this whole episode where they're like, I'm going to be a SnoobTube star or whatever. And every character, other than Johnny, all gets the deal and all goes to Hollywood, and they do this whole make-believe thing. And, oh, the SnoobTube star, SnoobTube movie is a big box office flop. No more SnoobTube deals. That's by the time Johnny gets his deal. So that's the irony of the whole thing. But
oh my gosh.
Yes.
And that was 20 years ago?
Well, the show came out in 2005. YouTube debuted in 2005. So they did the episode probably 2006, 2007, maybe.
Well, I'm just saying that's wild because, like, whether they realized it or not, they kind of predicted influencer culture, you know, and freaking talk tickers and and Instagrammers and of course SnoobTubers themselves. Also, like, I mean, there's business to be had there, you know, and a lot of our friends, you know, view their platforms as side hustles as well, And that's all well and good. You might even say it's fine. LOL. But my point being from earlier is that, like, I look at this type of stuff as community, never competition.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know, community first, always.
Yeah.
And it's you know, to the point you were mentioning way earlier, when we're kind of like talking about the component of loneliness and stuff and being lonely. And I like that I've cultivated a lot of friendships in this community just by being an okay person, you know? And our friend who valued competition over community, well, he's not casting pods anymore. And I'm still here. We're still here. You know, it's like I'm sure there's a meaning there, but
I don't know.
Yeah. So go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead. What are you gonna say? Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say let's kind of go back to how the context of F.I.N.E in the movie in the Italian Job.
Okay. Yeah.
And you know, as again, it's like. when we first encounter it, it's like they're getting ready to do the titular Italian job. Well, actually, that's later in the movie. I screwed up my own joke, but basically, like it's Donald Sutherland asks Mark Wahlberg, how you doing, and he says fine. It's like, well, you know what that means. And they
He's
both
like,
they say it back to each other, freaked out, insecure, neurotic, and emotional. But the meaning of that is because like Donald Sutherland calls out that, like, well, there's they used to hang thieves from that bridge over there, with the implication that F.I.N.E is somehow not good enough. Like, you need to be better than F.I.N.E. F.I.N.E isn't, because like F.I.N.E is all of these other things. You need to be cool like ice and to do the thievery and stuff. And I think it's fascinating to juxtapose that to the "How are you F.I.N.E" graphic, and that's what the I is. Never good enough, and it's a singular statement by itself.
Yep.
And so I just think that notion is fascinating. Like I was doing some light Googling, just saying like, hey, Dr. Google, define the word "fine," and I've gotten a few different ones, and they say like, but most of it is very good or very well satisfactory, or in a satisfactorily kind of way. Example: I was sick last night, but I feel fine this morning. So, but in that context, fine is good enough.
Yeah.
But Donald Sutherland is saying not good enough.
Not good enough. Yeah.
Fine's not going to cut it this time.
No, not this time.
I think Google uses Oxford Dictionary, but it does give a couple definitions. It says of high quality. That was a fine piece of filmmaking. Yeah. And that's kind of like strayed from our concept of it, because like I think we've talked about it through the context and the lens and kaleidoscope of being thoroughly average or a spectrum of average, that kind of thing. You kind of forget that it's used to describe like something that's like rare or excellent or exceptional or something. It's like, oh man, that is so fine, that kind of thing.
Fine as wine.
There it is. There it is. Exactly. So, and I guess that's why it's kind of a spectrum as well. But so kind of take me back. Like again, we're not doing a review of the movie, but like what was it about that notion? Because it comes up as a theme several times through the characters' interactions. What was it that stuck with you so hard? So much so that a few years later you wanted to do a podcast as this is the springboard.
Well, it was one of those things where, and again, you got to remember, this is 22 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, you're making me do math, Mike. I should charge
Sorry,
you for
buddy.
I should charge you for this.
I was told in my radio classes that there would be no math.
Yeah,
Turns out it's all math. It's all like math. Timing.
Yeah. Wait a minute.
Timing and back timing and calculations.
Okay,
it's all math.
So depending on when that came out in 2003, I don't have the exact date in front of me. Crap. When did it tell you?
I thought we litigated that, and I thought we landed on it being summer.
I thought so too.
I thought it was a summer movie. Let me see.
I'm trying.
May 30th, which was probably Memorial Weekend.
Yep.
So I think fine. that was a big movie, and there was a lot of push for it.
No. Well, because I was doing the math here of 2025 minus 2003, and it gave me a number of 22, and I'm like, there's no in hell. So I was 23 because I was born February 9th of 80. So I was 23 when that movie was released in theaters. I went to see it with a then crush at the time. Chris was it was Christina was her name, I believe. Christina, 'cause I don't know, something with a C. And just absolutely was enthralled with the movie. Obviously loved being there with her and everything else. And
Mhm.
I don't know. It just at 23 years old, it just again, it's kind of like the Batman line, block it out and power on through, has stuck with me for the last 25 years. Same thing with this line. How are you? I'm fine. Oh, fine. Freaked out, insecure, neurotic, emotional. Because at 23 years old, with everything I had gone through in the 90s with being in state's care and
Yeah.
all this and all that, it's like, oh yeah, I'm pretty much freaked out, insecure, neurotic, and emotional. And people will look at me and say, but Mike, how could that spell fine? Like, what are you talking about? You go, and people will be like, but freaked out is 2 words. I'm like, no, it's hyphenated. You don't count the O, it's 1 word. It's hyphenated. It's whatever. Anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's stuck with me all this time. And like I said, outside of you, myself, and the other Mike, pizza boy over there.
Yeah. Michael Andrews, pizza
Yeah.
tossing Mike himself.
Go home, pizza boy. Streets closed. 25th anniversary of those films next year.
Oh
We
my
should do a
gosh.
franchise episode.
Oh man, I could do, oh my gosh. I was gonna say I could do an entire episode on talking about the likelihood that they will never make a
11.
another. I don't think it's ever going to happen. I don't think Fast and Furious Part 11 or I think it's
10 part 2.
10
Yeah.
Part 2. Yeah, because I
They
think they're
gotta stop doing that crap.
well, Final Fantasy did it. I think
I
that's
know.
I think that's where it starts. It's like, wait a sec, Final Fantasy X2, X-Men United. Oh no. But yeah, I mean that's what it is. You know, Fast X2, X-Men United. That's what the name of the movie is. But like, there's I think the book already came out, but like somebody like put out a book about like the whole Fast and Furious saga. I really want to pick it up because it's apparently got some like juicy gossip about Vin Diesel and why he's kind of like the hang up for how these that movie will probably never get made with so many unresolved cliffhangers. There's a part of me that kind of hopes it doesn't, but anyway.
But yeah, so yeah, that's the reason why it's kind of, like I said, kind of stuck with me all these years. And obviously the graphic, I found the graphic, and then the graphic just kind of was like, oh yeah, how are you? I'm fine. I'm fine. This is my brother Mo, and this is my other brother Curly. Yuck, yuck.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, because it's interesting because like it takes the notion from the movie and just expands it that much further.
Oh yeah.
You know, into, you know, seriously deeply resonant things that are really, in a sense, kind of expanded expressions of what's in the Italian Job version. But just, yeah, again,
Just more. Yeah.
just more deep and more specific. But ironically enough, if you take and break down, you know, confused, betrayed, useless, broken, never good enough, fragile, anxious, I'm falling apart and you don't notice it, pathetic, annoying, rejected, lonely, and defeated. I would imagine if you throw that into a chat GPT and say like, you know, condense this down, it would probably come out something resembling freaked out, insecure, neurotic, and emotional.
That's right.
It's just crazy when you think about it and break it down in those types of terms.
The I'm falling apart section is like, yeah, I know that is more than just the like the physicality part of it, but lately I'm like, Yeah, I'm pretty much falling apart because I got pain over here, I got pain over here, and then I got pain in my legs. So all four limbs, I got pain in all four limbs. I'm pretty much falling up. Look, folks, I don't do any climbing, so I don't know if this old Humpty Dumpty can get on any walls, but Humpty Dumpty's pretty much falling apart. I don't need no wall.
Right. Right. Well, and again, like, you know, I keep trying to like bend over backwards to like make these weird connections, but like, you know, between like fragile and anxious, that's just the feeling of being old. It's just like, you know, again, that notion of falling apart, like, you know, you play mystery bruise in the shower. It'd be like, did I fall on something? Why do I have a bruise on my forearm for like no reason?
I wake up with bruises. Yeah, exactly. It's like,
Yeah.
where'd that one come from? I don't know. It's like, I don't know what I love him to death. I don't know what my dad does. My dad is 70 years old. He's been a mechanic since he was 14 years old.
Mm-hmm.
This dude, every other time he's come to visit me in the last 2 to 3 years that I've lived here in Indiana, every fourth time he will come, and because my dad is 6'2", he's probably, I don't know, 160, 170 pounds. He's a lot skinnier than I am, but he will come with like 7 Band-Aids on one arm. Like, what did you do? What did you do that you have 3 to 4 to 5 Band-Aids on one arm and 3 other Band-Aids on the other arm? I don't know. I don't know. Caught myself working on this bus or that bus or whatever bus.
Sure.
I don't know. It's weird.
Well, it's interesting. I ran into a weird sensation a month or so ago. I stepped outside onto our back steps, and basically we have like 3 steps that lead from a door to a patio. And I just happened to step on it wrong and fell. And I cannot remember the last time, certainly as an adult person, where I straight up fell. Like basically like my feet just kind of went out from underneath me. I like banged my hip on the second step, and I basically kind of rolled over the third step onto the patio. I was fine. Like I had a little nick on my elbow and more bruised feelings than anything. But I remember like I was on my back, like the wind had been knocked out of me, and I'm just like, what is going on? And I'm just doing like this slow inventory of like, okay, well, I have some like pain in my hip and my knee and my ankle and my foot. And I'm just like, and I'm like looking around. I'm like, well, no blood or nothing. I think I'm okay. But I was stunned.
Yeah,
like,
that was
like
funny, yeah.
it was really upsetting. So in other words, it made me very anxious about being
anxious.
fragile.
Yeah,
And I was real slow to get up. And I eventually did, and I was fine, but like I was sore for a good few days later. Like, I mean, criminally, I'm not the most fit person around, but like I'll like vacuum, and then like my legs will be sore. I'm just like, what in hell? I'm just vacuuming. It's not that big a deal, but
exactly.
But yeah, certainly falling apart for sure. I mean, but that also kind of has its own sense of existential dread, like the feeling of like, oh, I can't just be like 7 years old running full speed, trip on my feet, face plant, and then just get right up, dust myself up, and it's like it do not work that way no more.
Nope, never again.
No.
Nope.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's very crazy.
So yeah, I guess in a sense we're fine. We're fine here. It's like, you know, it's Han Solo talking to the thing. He's like, hey, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm fine here too. How are you?
How are you? Yeah.
Yeah. What's your operating number? Boring conversation anyway.
TK421.
Yep. Exactly. So yeah, I don't know, dude. What any particular themes or resonance or stories that I might be missing? Because I think we kind of covered it.
Yeah, I think we got it covered. I mean, like I said, it was a thing where I was like, and again, like I already said, it was I felt like it was a flip of the coin of existential dread of like, how do you convey how you feel to your family, to your friends, to your audience? Sometimes it's just fine, but there is so many levels under the fine.
Yeah.
And that's what this was for me. So, but yeah, no, I don't think there's too much else.
Well, I would say also let's kind of talk about, how we express it and how we hear it. So I guess I would say, depending upon your friendship, your relationship or whatever, ask follow-up questions. It's like, oh, you're fine. It's like, oh, really? You doing okay? Like for real, that kind of thing. But on the flip side, though, also, when somebody tells you that they're fine, trust them.
Yeah.
It's like, because sometimes fine is just fine.
Yeah.
And that they could be guarded. Maybe there's something they don't want to express at that particular time. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it is one of those things that you can take any number of different directions, because I know, and for me personally, when I express it, the spectrum is all in tone. I'm fine, that kind of thing. Or it's like, I'm fine. Because usually it's like, usually with like a shrug, it's like, I'm fine. That means like, not the best, but certainly not the worst either.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. For me, I usually lead with the sarcasm of it all. Sometimes where it's like, I'm falling apart, but everything will be fine eventually.
Yeah. I think that is totally valid as well. It's
I mean, how are you? Like, because there's a difference between asking me how am I and how are things, because how are things to me is different. So how am I? I am falling apart because literally I feel like I am falling apart. Every body part is betraying me in my old age. Things will get better eventually, hopefully. How are things? How are things is like, well, this could be better. This could be better. This is going okay. I wish podcast editing didn't take so long, but I'm an anal retentive asshole who makes it take so long.
Yeah.
So, this is what it is.
Well, I think it's also interesting the way that conversations start with questions.
Yeah.
And like so, for example, I recently in therapy, I told my therapist, because she had asked me like, well, what do you want to talk about? And I'm like, well, I don't know. And usually what will happen is I broke this down for her. Like, I go, well, I bounce off of the first thing you ask me. And that question sets the tone for the entire session and the entire conversation. It's like, well, how's your cat doing? Well, he's not doing super great. That kind of thing. And then we talked for almost an hour about my my poor cat's failing health, that kind of thing. But like, I don't know if I would have brought that up unless she had asked specifically. Yeah. So I think it kind of speaks to how weirdly literal minded I can be sometimes. Like I can be incredibly obtuse when I feel like folks aren't being specific enough. Like, I'm not really good at reading between the lines. I'm not really good at inferring things. Especially when like somebody's trying to imply something. It's like, well, if you want to ask me something, ask it straight out. If you want to tell me something, tell it straight out. Because sometimes, like, I don't know what happened to my mentality, but like, I don't know, maybe like 5-6 years ago, maybe even further back, it was just like I suddenly became Drax the Destroyer, and everything was just like very literal. Like nothing goes over my head, I would catch it. You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
In a way that I wasn't when I was younger. It's like it's a later adult Mike thing. It's a behavior that I've conditioned myself to, but now that I do it, I can't shut it off. Because like there are times I take a step back and I was like, oh, that's really irritating that I'm like that. But like there would be times I'll having like I got into an argument with a friend of mine. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then finally they coughed up, oh, I was this time you said this. I'm like, oh, why didn't you say so?
Yeah, exactly.
That
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yep.
But yeah, it's but I think being aware of that has kind of helped me resolve things also. It's just like, hey man, I'm no longer incapable of inferring. So you're just going to have to be really straight with me, and in exchange, I'll be super straight with you as well.
Spell it out.
Uh-huh.
And then, F.I.N.E, you'll be okay.
Exactly. Well, on that note, before we kind of close it out, because it's we've given folks a decent show, but like, what's kind of going on in the pop culture space for TFG1 Mike? You like reading good comics? You got Transformers stuff going on? What's going on with you?
Well, it's the end of the year. With all the medical stuff, I didn't do everything I was supposed to do because can't really work on a lot of the stuff because it's kind of hard to edit So portion of the ulnar nerve and carpal tunnel, my hand was in a cast for like, it's only been 4.5 months since this happened. So for 2.5, because it happened in August. So this is December.
Right.
So it hasn't even been that long. For like 2.5 months, my arm was in a cast. So I couldn't even hold a mouse, couldn't do a keyboard, couldn't do anything. I had plans to take one of our podcasts, Studio 2009, which is the podcast where we talk about anything in the audio and visual realm. If you can hear it, if you can watch it, whatever, we'll cover it. I wanted to get that podcast to 200 episodes. Currently, we are sitting at 162, and I'm editing episodes 163 and 164. And New Year's Eve is tomorrow night. Sorry to date your podcast, sir. But so I am like, I don't know, 39, 38, 37, 35 episodes shy of 200, which is fine. The stupid thing is, episode 165 through 168 are already recorded, done, whatever, ready to go. And then episode 171 to 179, I have all this stuff that's already pre-recorded for various episodes that should have already been out this year. But because of the arm surgery in August and everything else, it's like I haven't been able to do it. And I'm the type of person, I'm the anal retentive person that if I've recorded it and I'm working on it, I'm the only one that can do it. Like I can't delegate this to, and it's not that I don't trust other people to do it. It's not that, like I could say, hey Steve, I'm running into a jam right now. I can't, like, could you blah, 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 this is, I want this. Like I could do that, but Steve has got his own stuff, his own whatever, his family and whatever else. Like, I'm not going to put that burden on him when I'm the one that basically has all the time in the world to do this. So I have to just, quote unquote, man up and just freaking do it. But there are just some days where physically I can't. And it sucks because now it's like, oh, look, I used to be Mr. One Arm and I could only use one arm. Now I'm Mr. No Arms. Are you kidding me? Really? How fine is that?
Right. Very frustrating. Very frustrating. Talk about existential dread for sure.
Existential dread for sure. Yeah, exactly. So geekcastradio.com, currently Studio 2009 is the show that I'm working on for the most part. We do have other shows. We have Altered Geek, All Things Transformers. We have The Pullbag. The Pullbag only has 9 episodes this year, where normally that show would have 50 episodes in a year. But Studio 2009, we've hit 42 episodes this year alone. We've got up to episode 162 online. The most recent episodes, Steve Megatron and I revisited. Well, we revisited one movie, and then I visited the second movie for the first time because I just never saw it when it first came out. But we revisited G.I. Joe, The Rise of Cobra.
Ooh. Woof.
I think I just punched Mike in the gut.
Yeah.
It's bad, but it's not as bad as everybody thinks. There were
fair.
worse movies. There are worse movies out there than Rise of Cobra. And then we did the sequel, G.I. Joe Retaliation, which I had never seen in 2013. 2013, I had too much other stuff going on. And I said to Steve in that episode, or one of the episodes recently, where it's like, most of my friends are in the Transformers community. I am very much G.I. Joe adjacent. I've been G.I. Joe adjacent since I was a kid. When I made a choice. You had 2 lanes. You had Transformers or G.I. Joe. I chose the Transformers path, and I've been down the Transformers path for the last 41, 42 years, however the hell long it's been, whatever. I don't dislike G.I. Joe at all. I'm reviewing the G.I. Joe comic from Skybound and whatever. I like the stuff that Skybound's doing with it, whatever, but I've never really, I don't go on to, I don't have G.I. Joe. I have friends who are in the G.I. Joe community and stuff, but I'm not in that community. Yeah. So I consider myself G.I. Joe adjacent. So when the second film came out, it was like, oh, yay, the second film. And oh, yay, they replaced half the first movie's cast just to get The Rock. Okay, fine, whatever. What they did, look at that cast list and tell me that's what they didn't do. Compare those 2 cast lists from 2009 to 2013. I guarantee you, to pay for his salary, that's why half the original cast did not return.
Absolutely. Well, that and Channing Tatum specifically did not want to be in that movie. He's like, I'll come back if you kill me off.
Yeah.
And that spoiler alert for the first 5 minutes of G.I. Joe Retaliation.
It is an X number of year old movie now.
Exactly. But then it kind of backfired because then in dailies they really liked the chemistry between The Rock and Channing Tatum, so they went back and did reshoots. So all that stuff earlier in the movie, that's all reshoots. It's crazy.
It's a damn shame they didn't go back at the end with an end credit scene. Oh wait, he's not dead. Here he is in this hospital. It was just a coma.
Right. and there you go. You had the opportunity to do the trope and they didn't. He's gone into a coma. Poor Duke.
Poor Duke.
Oh my gosh. But that I still think that for as not great as it is, it's still kind of the best G.I. Joe movie. That Rise of Cobra is really not good. And that
so here's a point, and I want to see what you think of this.
Sure. Okay. See, now we're getting somewhere.
This is what I pointed out to Steve, because we recorded these back to back and I published them basically one day from each other. So Rise of Cobra has the characterizations for the characters that are in it, but it has a piss poor story. Okay. Retaliation has a good story, but it has crappy characterization. Roadblock was a good characterization. Duke, you kill off, fine. Some of the other characters are okay, but one of the things I say in the podcast episode over on geekcastradio.com is that the character, I literally broke this down, and I'll break this down now. The characters that the actors that play Flint and Lady J, he's 40 in real life right now, as we're talking in 2025. He's 42, she's 45. They're 3 years older than each other. In that movie 12 years ago, she looks like she could be his mother, and he looks like he could be her son. Like, they don't look, watch that movie again. Look at Flint and Lady J specifically. They casted Lady J's fine as far as who they casted for her. Flint is the problem. The person that they chose to cast as Flint is Flint needs to be the older, slightly more gruffer character.
Yeah, more grizzled for sure.
Like Lady J doesn't need to be a young, like I said, the one that they have there is fine. She's hot, she's beautiful, she's whatever. She's fine. But see, and that's the thing.
Yeah, let me just stomp on the brakes for a sec here because it cracks me up. It's like one of the takeaways I would like to folks to have from this episode is think of how often you use the word fine as a descriptor, how often you say it, how often you hear it. And again, in that context, let's do a double meaning. Like, so you're describing the character of Lady J and the actress Adrienne Palicki, and it's like it's both. It's like, oh yeah, no, she's good, she's fine. But also me on the other side, who is a huge Friday Night Lights fan, I'm like, she's fine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, not to be a total creep about it, but I've been a big fan of hers for quite a long time. I was tragically underused in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., in my opinion.
Oh God, don't even get me started on that show.
No, cannot.
I'll just say this.
It's fine.
Mr. Life Model Decoy over there. That's where I draw the line. The fact that they brought Coulson back, it ruins everything.
Right.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
But anyway. Yeah. So we got that going on over at geekcastradio.com. The late bloomers that are coming that I'm in the middle of editing right now is, what the hell was that movie?
I don't know.
Oh crap, what the hell is that damn movie? Oh, 40th anniversary of the Breakfast Club. Steve and I just did that episode.
Oh, cool.
Yep. The Chaos Queen and I did an updated version of the holiday diary thing that I did in 2012. So it was this weird email chain thing that my mom sent me back in 2001. And it's this holiday diary thing from Massachusetts to Florida, because all New Englanders end up going to Florida when they get old, kind of thing. And it's this funny little skit that we did. So that's coming up. And then I'm just going to keep on pumping them out. So head on over to geekcastradio.com for all your podcasting needs from me and my friends.
I love it.
Yep.
Well, as for me, we have a new recent episode of Two Mikes, Too Furious that's recently hit, talking about the new fan comic Bumble Prime, which is basically the first true extension of Transformers animated into season 4. It was a episode concept that was originally going to be in season 3, got moved to season 4. Season 4 got canceled, so Bumble Prime was an episode that was cut entirely. Now it's been resurrected as a comic book written by Transformers animated superfan Kian Carlisle, with edits by original show editor and writer Marty Eisenberg, and it's this incredible fan comic. It was completely sold out at TFCon, and me and Michael Andrews, we had a big panel show with Marty and Kian and Allspark Almanac co-author Jim Sorensen, along with Transformers animated original toy designer Eric Siebenahler, who is now back with Hasbro on the Transformers team. So there might be more animated characters making their way into the current Legacy Generations line. Hopefully, fingers crossed. And it was a ton of fun. it's an episode for folks that want to just learn about behind the scenes stuff, because it's like telling stories, asking questions, secrets revealed, that type of thing. But the comic is terrific. Basically, it's a flash forward story where Bumblebee is taken into the future by the mysterious time trucker and finds that Bumblebee, the least likely, is now a prime in the future, wielder of the Magnus Hammer and leader of the Autobots. But oops, Galvatron is leader of the Decepticons, and they must join forces to fend off the Predacon virus before everybody gets turned into zombies. It's very much like in the key of World War Z, the book, not the movie, about zombie paranoia and all of that. Yeah. And it's cool. It's a really cool comic. And a lot of folks are talking about it. It's a ton of fun. The conversation was fun. So if anybody has any ounce of affection for Transformers Animated, first check out our podcast, Two Mike's Too Furious, where me and Michael Andrews watched all the episodes. I was a first-time viewer, and we talked about it, and it was a lot of fun. Now we're kind of in this extra space where we're talking to Marty Eisenberg, getting a lot of our questions answered, and now that these fan comics are continuing, I don't know if you've seen this or not, TFG1 Mike, but the
Shattered Glass.
Yeah, and that's a season 4 episode that again, season 4 was never produced, but it's co-written by both Kian and Marty, so it's as legit as you can get on the writing side, and it's going to be a blast, and I'm glad to see that people on Twitter are being totally normal about it. LOL.
People on Twitter being totally normal about any fucking thing ever?
No.
Really? No, you don't say.
I don't say.
Those people are not fine.
No. No.
I mean, they're the other freaked out, insecure, neurotic, and emotional. That's what they are.
That's what they are, for sure. I think that's accurate.
I wish to take it away from that point, but I wish Derek was here to see this because he would love it. God damn it.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Miss that dude.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So with Eric being back at Hasbro, we need a Rodimus figure that does not say Rodimus Major on it.
Yeah. Well, but if you take him out of the package, what difference does it make? And keeping in mind, this is the guy who's the resident box collector, and
exactly, Mr.
And
Box Collector.
I still think I want to do an episode. I mean, because obviously 2026 is the 40th anniversary of Transformers the movie, and I have a rant in me about the ongoing packaging changes with the Studio Series 86 line, to the point where now they're not even numbered and it's not called 86 anymore, and the Transformers the movie logo is teeny tiny. And it's it's not even like in the same colorway. It's just grayscale where they all match. And I'm just I
want to be there for that. Oh man,
I'm so mad. I'm so mad. My boxes are, and now I've gone through this era of window boxes to windowless boxes,
back to windows.
Open windows, now back to windows. So now it's just it's a mess. My display is a mess. But I bring that up because the thing that has been brought to my attention, it's well, if you take them all out of the box, it makes no difference. And it's just you're missing the point. Much like your Rodimus Major legislation. It's I feel your pain. I feel your pain. And an updated animated Rodimus would be very, very cool.
Yep.
I would think. So.
Because that way they can repaint it into Shattered Glass.
Oh, there you go. That'd be fun. Yeah, but I think it's super dope that Transformers Animated is continuing, and and it comes down to respect. This Keen Carlisle kid, he's just a lifetime super fan who happens to also be very adept at doing YouTube. But he's won the respect of folks like, Marty Eisenberg and Jim Sorensen and Josh Perez and a number of folks, because they see that he has respect for the material and doesn't want to just do a shoddy version of it.
Yeah, exactly.
So
very awesome.
But anyway, our Bumble Prime episode is a lot of fun. And I think again, if you like any of the stuff that we've done with Two Mics, that I think you'll really like it. But well, friend, I think we've done it. We've done it again for another year.
Yes, we have.
Yeah. Anything else you wanted to shout out, or any other closing thoughts before we close the door on this?
I don't think so. What's next?
Yeah, well, next is
something else.
Is a new year for sure. Well, maybe we'll we might actually do the long promised review of 2003's The Italian Job, because I got thoughts about that stacked ass cast. You'll forget that a young fly as fuck Jason Statham is in there with hair, and it just messes you all up. And
yeah, he's got some hair on the sides.
Not
on the top, but it's on the sides. Yeah,
I just like how Jason Statham has owned his male pattern baldness in a way that Bruce Willis never did. He just one day hair, next day no hair. Jason Statham has incorporated it into his entire aesthetic, where, bald on top, hair on the sides, but it's all perfectly linked to transition into his beard. It's all just one thing.
Yeah.
And as guys who wear beards, it's like beard hair is different than hair.
Yeah, it's not.
How does Jason Statham do it to where it all looks like he looks like he has 5 o'clock shadow all across his head and face, and it's all the same length? It's crazy.
It's kind of like Henry Cavill punching and his beard growing. Did you see that? You saw that, right? Okay.
Yeah, and his shirt grows a pocket too.
Yeah.
Oh man, the one thing that doesn't run out of bullets, your fists. But occasionally you got to reload.
Yep.
Click back. Oh my gosh. Well, friend, I think we've done it, and I think that's going to wrap it up for this deeply philosophical episode of the existential dreadcast, kind of inverted existential dreadcast.
How are you? Fine.
There it is. If you want more of this, make sure you like and subscribe on Spotify or not Google. YouTube, yeah. I mean, basically anywhere you cast your pods. And don't forget to check out Two Mics, Too Furious also. But yeah, I think that will wrap it up for closing out year 10 of Mike's Hyper Radio podcast.
Wait a minute. You wait till now? You wait till the end of the show?
Well,
10 years?
Yeah.
Did you do an anniversary show this year?
I did. I pulled out a bunch of stuff.
Okay, that's right.
Talk about Hitchbot and all that other stuff.
Yeah, you did. I remember.
But I don't think I've done an episode since. I've just been doing Two Mic stuff. So this is probably the next episode on the feed. I don't remember if there's one in between, but yeah, no, it just kind of cracks me up. Kind of a weird it's kind of a ignoble end to a year, but it's just
a year that's really just been freaking crazy. I mean, let's admit it. I mean, and that's
we tied it all together.
Yeah, exactly.
Tied it all together, but yeah. Anyway, thanks for hanging with us. Thanks for hanging out with me for 10 years. Thanks for hanging out with TFG1 Mike for 17 years. And here's to a good 2026, hopefully better than 2025. And until next time, tell all or one, make good choices and stay fine, don't you?
Yeah, stay fine, don't you? And remember, folks, it's if you're on that shattered glass side, it's not till all are one, it's till all are gone.
Mike's Seibert Radio is recorded in Seattle, Washington. Our original theme song is written and performed by Lucia Fasano. Get her music on all streaming platforms like Spotify and Apple Music, and check out her Instagram at Lucia_Fasano. Our closing theme is A Nice Place to Visit by These Young Fools, used with permission from Michael Geissler. Check out Michael's website, bytourmusic.com, for more music like it. Special thanks to Andy Lita for our logos and graphic design. He is at GoGoAndyRobo. Become a Mike Cybertronian and join the MSRP Friends and Fans Facebook group. And you can follow me on social media at Mike Seibert Radio on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Blue Sky. And check out my YouTube channel for even more videos, and subscribe so you never miss a show and don't miss Two Mike's Two Furious animated Transformers. Want to be a guest on the show? Send me an email, MikeSeibertRadio@gmail.com.
Where am I? Oh, there I am. Oh, yay.
It turns out it's just 90 minutes of grunting, all Tim Allen style. Welcome back to Grumblecast.
Can you imagine if that's all Santa Claus 1, 2, and 3 are?
It kind of is like those movies are basically kind of just Tim the Toolman Taylor in a Santa outfit.
Pretty much. How's it going, brother?
It's going great. About yourself?
Freaked out, insecure, neurotic, and emotional.
There it is. See, I missed the opportunity to do the bit. I should have responded by saying, well, how you doing, brother? I'm fine.
Well, we won't miss it when we actually do the thing. So
that is quite so. So.
You have seen that scene, right? Like,
oh yeah.
Okay, I just want to make. I don't want to do it and be like, "Huh? Whoa, what's that from?"
No. I
know
a
movie that no one remembers. Assholes, pure and simple assholes.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to rewatch the movie for this, but I watched it like 6-8 months ago, something like that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's relatively fresh.
The clip, literally, I just tagged you.
Mm-hmm. I saw it.
It's the top on my wall, so it's just the clip. It's just the one. It's 2 seconds. How have you been, Charlie? I'm fine. Well, you know what fine stands for.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Fun stuff. No, and it's a shockingly deep notion, as I'm sure we will discuss in litigation.
I don't even know where I found this. I found this years ago. And I've never really like I remember it had words to it, but I never really confused, betrayed, useless, broken is the F.
Yeah.
Never good enough is the I. Fragile, anxious, I'm falling apart. You don't notice it is the N, and then panic, annoying, rejected, lonely, and defeated is the E. And I don't know if I found this when Karen was still alive, or I don't know where. Between this and the iceberg challenge thing, and no, I'm not talking about the ALS one.
Okay.
There's another one like the under the iceberg thing where you see all the stuff on top of the iceberg and then all the emotions and stuff under the iceberg. It's one of those. I have one of those things. I got it from I think Dr. Andrea Letamendi from Arkham Sessions with her and her
Hmm.
husband Brian Ward. I think she posted it years ago, so I got one of those.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
So
I
along the
I
same lines.
I'm familiar with that meme format, kind of like the tip of the iceberg is like,
Mhm.
what you see like on,
What
in a
you-
show or a movie,
Yep.
but then like below the iceberg is like all the deep lore and
Yep, yep.
all that type of stuff. So yeah, it's more or less like I think what these notions have in common is what's on the surface and then what's kind of deeper below.
Yeah.
That kind of and a lot of stuff that folks never see, the deeper below type.
Yep. And like I said, I always felt that when I saw this, I think it was, I forget when I originally mentioned this to you.
Mm.
It's partly because of the Italian Job, but it's mostly because of this. And I thought, oh, well, technically that's kind of a flip of the coin of existential dread. It's
Yeah.
like, because usually you hear people, you hear the question, how are you? Oh, I'm fine. And
Mhm.
most of the time, sometimes that's true. Most of the time, it's not. And then that's where this whole image comes in, as far as like everything that's said with the words that are making up the fine.
Yeah, yeah. Exactly. Well, and as we'll kind of discuss, fine is kind of a spectrum also.
Oh
It's
yeah.
like, because like, there are times that fine just means fine. Like,
Yeah.
it's neutral. But
Yeah.
then there's other times where fine is, a medium positive, but
Yeah.
also
Medium
skews
negative. Yeah.
medium negative. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It is a spectrum for sure. Um, but all right, well, it sounds like we're already kind of like hitting the ground running. So let's just kind of get into it here. I'll do a quick intro.